Today we're going to talk about documentation challenges for international entrepreneurs looking to make the US their home, specifically for the E-2 visa. So first off, make sure you have a valid passport. There's a lot of countries that it can take quite some time to renew your passport, especially if you're an expat not currently living in your country. So make sure you have that valid passport. And also for your spouse and you have children, you have to have a valid passport for everyone to be able to obtain the E-2 visa. And then completing the DS-160 is essential. This is the application for non-immigrant visas. So like the E-2 visa, like the O-1 visa, it's going to include a lot of the personal information about you and your family, anyone that's seeking the visa category that you're looking to apply for. Then you have the DS-156E, and that's particular to the E-1 and E-2 visas, and that's going to be more specific, particularly diving into some of the business details. There is going to be also a business plan that's an essential document that we can help you build, but the DS-156E is going to be shorter and contain some of the essential information about the business that you're going to be applying for your E-visa. You got to show proof that your country has a treaty of commerce and navigation with the US. Usually it's simple as a passport. There are some countries though that have nuances, like the UK. You should be domiciled in the UK when you're applying for the E-2 visa, as well as if you got citizenship by investment, say in a country like Grenada or Turkey, you should be domiciled in that country for no less than 3 years. And that includes for your spouse or children that are looking to obtain the E-2 visa as well. As I mentioned with the DS-156E, there's going to be more expansive information about the business, and depending on the consulate, it could be a 20-page, 40-page business plan that's going to detail how you spent the money, how you plan to spend future funds, hiring plans, any past financials, future financials, why you are well suited to direct and develop this business, and really show that you're meeting the criteria for the E-2 visa, and that maybe, just maybe, you have the next unicorn type business that the US consulate officer wants to have open up in the US, like a Google. Ownership documentation is really key. You got to have generally 50% or more ownership in the E-2 visa business. Job evidence, as I mentioned, the business plan, but if you can show that further with W-2, tax forms, 1099 for the contractors, perhaps pay stubs, showing that you're employing Americans or hiring Americans as contractors is really key to meet the substantiality and to show that this is a real and operating business, or it's as close to operating and making money as possible. The visa interview appointment confirmation is key, showing that you do have an appointment. You might have to show that at the door. Resume and CV you should have on hand, as well as photographs for you and your family members. Check for that specific consulate, as there are different requirements depending what consulate you're applying from for the documents we went through today. And then some of them, like Canada, if you're applying in Toronto for the E-2 visa, have a pretty strict page limit in terms of what you can include in your E-2 visa application. And there you have it, applying for the E-2 visa. You've got to be thoughtful, methodical, work with the best advisors, so you're not spending the next year applying for this E-2 visa, but you can condense it down to 2-3 months, move to the US, continue to grow the business. And if you have a family, bring your family along. So those are some of the documents you need. All different types of challenges can occur depending on the documents we would collect on your behalf. We have a great team that collects the documents, reviews them on the behalf. We work with amazing immigration attorneys that will support with the strategy and everything necessary for you to ultimately obtain the E-2 visa. If you have any questions, need any assistance applying for the E-2 visa, shoot me an email at patrick@visafranchise.com. If you like today's video, like it, subscribe to it, share it with your friends, and we'll be producing more and more content for international entrepreneurs, investors, top talent that are looking to move to the US, whether it's through the E-2 visa or another means, as well as how you from an E-2 visa can eventually get a green card. Stay tuned to our next video.